Mr. Fagan.
Good morning.
How's your hospital stay been? Are they treating you well?
I've been kind of out of it.
That's too bad. I'm sorry. Well, my name is Julia. I'm the dietetic nutritionist, and I'm here to help you.
Oh, does that mean you tell people what to eat?
It's more like I help people with their specific conditions to know what food will best help their body.
Alright, well, what are you here for today?
It looks like the doctor wanted me to go over your insulin with you. Your labs say that your blood glucose was very high when you came in, at 1524, but it dropped to 425 the next day. It also shows that your A1C is high, which basically is a measure of how well blood sugar is controlled over a long period of time. How would you feel about going over insulin today?
Oh, that. Well, I guess I better.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Fagan. How much do you know about using insulin and the impact your blood sugar has on your body?
They taught me a while ago. I guess I sort of listened, but I haven't really been using it. I know how to give myself insulin and how to check my blood sugar, but about specifics I sort of forgot.
Alright then, are you aware of the importance of using insulin on your body?
So I don't end up like this, I guess, but really probably to keep my blood sugar in the correct range.
Yes, definitely. Are you aware of the impact your blood sugar can have on your body?
Well, I've heard of people ending up with dialysis or something, but I don't really know much about it, or don't remember at least.
Would you mind if I explained it to you?
Sure, go for it.
Well, like you just recently experienced, when your blood sugar becomes too high, it can cause you to become confused and drowsy, and it can even cause you to faint. On the other hand, when your blood sugar becomes too low, it can cause your body to go into a coma, and sometimes people don't ever wake up.
Oh.
And those are just the short-term consequences. When your blood sugar becomes higher than the normal range consistently over a long period of time, it causes damage to your blood vessels and other organs, and can cause kidney damage, nerve damage, and eye damage. And sometimes people have to get limbs amputated. In your labs, it says that your creatinine and blood urine nitrogen levels are abnormal, which can indicate poor kidney function. Does it make sense why we want to control blood sugar in the normal range?
Yeah, it does.
So, how do you feel about beginning to use insulin again, but this time consistently?
I think I probably should.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how important is making this change to you?
It should be higher, but right now it's probably a 6 or 7.
What do you think prevents your number from being an 8 or 9?
Well, I guess it's really important, but I just don't have much motivation.
So you know that it's very important to control your blood sugar, but it's hard to actually make yourself monitor it.
Yeah, but I think if I got in the habit of using insulin, I could watch my blood sugar every day.
Okay, and can you think of any ways you could remind yourself so you won't forget in the very beginning?
I could keep a log on my table for breakfast and dinner, and take a different one with me for lunch that I could keep at work.
That sounds good. The first step is to figure out how much insulin you need per day. Using your body weight, I'll have to use my calculator for this. You will need about 48 units of slow-acting and 49 units of fast-acting insulin. This is based on your weight. The slow-acting insulin you will take in the morning and all at once. This will help keep your blood glucose low the entire day. Your quick-acting insulin will be taken before you eat or if your blood sugar is high. Since you already know how to give yourself insulin, we don't need to go over that. What we do need to go over is how much fast-acting insulin you should give yourself before you eat. To do that, we should go over your typical dietary intake.
Alright, that's fine with me.
So tell me, what is the first thing you put in your mouth on a typical day?
Well, I don't normally eat breakfast. I just drink coffee with some half and half in it.
Okay, how much half and half would you say? A teaspoon, a tablespoon?
Probably more like 2 tablespoons.
And about what time do you drink this?
I make coffee while I get ready for work, so I probably drink it at 7:30 right before I leave.
Okay, what do you eat next during the day?
Mid-morning, I have a bagel with some cream cheese. I definitely like a lot of cream cheese, more than 2 tablespoons. And let's see, maybe even 5 tablespoons of cream cheese, and I also drink more coffee.
With half and half?
Yep,
Also?
with the same amount of half and half as before. And then for lunch, I like to go out. I always get a sandwich with a bag of chips and a diet soda. And for dinner, I always make myself a nice beef or chicken steak, a large salad of mostly lettuce with ranch salad dressing, and either potatoes or rice. Sometimes I also go out to eat with my friends.
Okay, and how large is the steak that you eat?
Probably a little less than the size of half of my hand.
What about your salad and ranch dressing?
The salad fits into a large cereal bowl, and I normally drizzle a lot of ranch dressing. I don't know, maybe a half cup. And I eat a half plate of rice or a large baked potato with sour cream and cheese.
Okay, and do you eat anything else at the end of the day?
Nope, that's it. I don't normally eat dessert. I try to be pretty healthy.
Alright, well, we'll use this for both for our time today and also for the future if you see a dietitian again. Now, are you aware of how much insulin to take before you eat a meal?
Not a clue.
Insulin is given in proportion to how many carbohydrates that you are eating. For you, since you will take a total of 97 units of insulin, I'll do a little bit of math. We will divide 500 by 97 to get about 5. That means that each unit of fast-acting insulin will cover 5 grams of carbohydrates that you eat. Do you know how to figure out carbohydrates?
No, not really.
Here, I'll give you this handout. It estimates carbohydrates based on the food type and amount of food that is eaten. This will be helpful in figuring out how much insulin to give yourself before you eat.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
Also, are you aware of the best time to give yourself insulin?
Right before?
Actually, about 30 minutes before you eat.
Oh, okay. I'll try that.
Sometimes the insulin and timing of insulin does not do a good job in controlling your blood sugar, and it might become very high or low. Are you aware of what to do in these situations?
Give myself more insulin? I'm not quite sure.
Yes, if your blood sugar is too high, you can give yourself insulin. Since you're taking 97 units of insulin a day, if we divide 1800 by 97, we get 18.5. So every unit you take should lower your blood glucose by 18.5 points. Are you aware of what the optimal blood glucose range is?
Like I said before, I really don't remember much.
The American Diabetes Association recommends that before a meal, it should be between 80 to 130, and 1 to 2 hours after a meal, it should not be greater than 180.
Okay.
Also, did you mention that you know how to check yourself with a blood glucose monitor?
Yeah, I can do that.
In order to make sure your blood glucose is at a normal range, you should check yourself before you give yourself insulin before the meal. You will also want to check your blood glucose 1 to 2 hours after you eat, and every 2 to 3 hours between eating meals.
Wow, that's a lot.
I know, having to keep your blood glucose within the normal range does take work, but it's something you won't regret.
I hope not.
I'll just add one more thing. When you notice that your blood sugar is too high, remember that 1 unit will lower your blood sugar by 18.5 points. This will help you keep it within the normal range, kind of like we talked about before.
All right.
I know this all might be a little bit overwhelming. That's a lot to take in.
Got that right.
How are you feeling about all this?
I just hope I remember it all.
I can provide you with a couple of other handouts about how much insulin to give yourself, when to give it to yourself, and some of the other topics we covered today.
That would definitely be helpful.
So, based on what we talked about, would you like to make any goals?
Well, if I have to.
The reason we create goals is to keep us on track so that we can adjust what's going on, what needs more help, and when you're ready for more steps towards improving your condition.
All right, then, I'll do it. Let's see. So you said it would be good to make a goal for actually taking the insulin?
Yes. How could we make that goal? What do you think a good goal would be?
Well, can I make it my goal to take insulin before every meal?
Definitely. And what about your insulin goal for the morning, your slow-acting insulin?
I guess every day.
If you want to make that goal, we can definitely make it.
Okay. Am I good now?
I know you mentioned that you could log every time you take insulin. How about tracking your blood glucose? What we often have patients do, especially initially, is keep track of what they eat, when they eat it, and when they inject themselves with insulin. I know it sounds like a lot, but this is the best way to figure out if everything is working well with you. How do you feel about that?
Does that mean I will always have to do this? That seems like a lot of work.
We can have you track it for a couple of weeks. And if you come back to outpatient, we can evaluate how you feel about writing all this down. It's most important initially since you're still learning how to control your blood sugar. If you come back to outpatient, the outpatient dietitian will review how often you took your insulin, if you took the correct amount of insulin, and how well you're able to keep your blood sugar in the correct range. This will also help the dietitian evaluate how well you understand everything I just taught you today. How does that sound?
Well, I'll give it a shot. Doesn't hurt to try.
Ideally, it would be best to see the dietitian in 2 weeks. It's up to you to make that appointment.
Okay, I think I will.
And then the dietitian can address some other areas that could use some change that will further help you in the
Okay.
future.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.